Daddy's Little Girls is a 2007 American romantic comedy drama film written and directed by Tyler Perry, produced by Perry and Reuben Cannon, and starring Gabrielle Union, Idris Elba, Louis Gossett Jr., and Tracy Ellis Ross. It tells the story of a lawyer who helps a mechanic in a custody battle against his mean-spirited ex-wife over who will get custody of their daughters. Daddy's Little Girls was released on February 14, 2007 by Lionsgate Entertainment. This is the first of 6 films directed by Perry that he does not appear in, the other 5 being Acrimony, 4 Colored Girls, Temptation, Confessions of a Marriage Counselor, Nobody's Fool, and A Jazzman's Blues, as well as the first of Perry's films to not be based on any of the filmmaker's stage plays. Plot: in Edgewood, Atlanta, Monty James is a well-liked mechanic working for Willie, who dreams of owning his own shop. His 3 daughters, Sierra, Lauren, and China, live with their maternal grandmother, Kat, but Monty visits regularly and provides financial support. Before her death, Kat asks Monty to take custody of them since her disowned daughter/Monty's ex-wife Jennifer barely has any interest in the girls, caring more about her live-in drug dealer boyfriend Joe. Following Kat's funeral, Jennifer arrives with Joe and his thugs. She tries to physically take the girls from Monty, but her Aunt Rita steps in. She leaves, telling Monty she intends to seek full custody of the girls. Monty accepts a job as a driver for attorney Julia Rossmore at the recommendation of his next-door neighbor Maya to earn extra money. One night, after Julia's friends, Brenda and Cynthia set her up on a blind date with Byron, Monty has to work later than expected. While driving her home, Monty receives a call that his children were involved in a house fire. So he immediately heads to the hospital without telling Julia, who fires him. When Monty arrives at the hospital, it is revealed that Sierra accidentally started a fire and that the girls were home alone with no adult supervision until Maya rescued them. Social Services Representative Lori Bell grants immediate temporary custody to Jennifer. Meanwhile, the girls face constant abuse and neglect from Joe and Jennifer. Monty is called to Sierra's school after she is caught with drugs. Sierra explains that Joe and Jennifer are forcing her to sell drugs, threatening to hurt Monty if she refuses. Aware that Joe can afford a high-power attorney for the custody hearing, Monty goes to Julia for help, but she turns him away, assuming he only wants the girls to get government assistance. On Monty's custody hearing day, Julia leaves for a different courtroom and overhears his failing attempt to represent himself. After listening to Monty try to inform the judge that the girls are living with a drug dealer, Julia agrees to represent him. Monty takes her to the jazz club in his neighborhood for her birthday, where they drink and dance with his friends. Over the next few weeks, Monty and Julia develop romantic feelings for each other. Julia runs into Brenda, who had met Monty before, and discovers they are now a couple. Brenda pulls Julia to the side and berates her, stating that he is beneath her status. After being injured in a robbery, Willie decides to retire and offers to sell the shop to Monty, and he accepts his offer. At the child custody hearing, Julia argues that it would be in the children's best interest for Monty to be awarded custody and provides the court with a written statement from Kat. Jennifer's lawyer counters by claiming that Monty is not suitable to raise the girls due to a conviction of statutory rape that occurred 16 years prior. Julia feels betrayed, stops representing him, and leaves. Monty's daughters arrive at his house and inform him that Joe has been beating them. While his daughters are asleep, a livid Monty drives off and crashes into Jennifer and Joe's car, dragging Joe out of his car and brutally beating him. As Joe's thugs attack Monty, Aunt Rita, Willie, and the other neighbors rush to his defense and fight Joe's thugs as the police arrive. Julia sees a news report about the near riot and rushes to help Monty after she learns from the report that he'd been wrongfully convicted of the rape charges. Jennifer and Joe face drug charges and the neighbors testify against Jennifer, Joe, and his thugs. The judge has them taken into custody with no bond. Monty is charged with assaulting Joe. Julia walks in to represent him while apologizing for not hearing his side of the story. The witnesses refuse to testify against Monty, so the judge dismisses the case. After Jennifer and Joe are arrested, Monty's daughters greet him and Julia at the auto shop which Monty now owns. As he, Julia, and his daughters enter the auto shop, the rest of the neighborhood celebrates Monty's release. Cast: Idris Elba as Monty James, a loving, hard-working, and well-liked mechanic with 3 daughters who dreams of owning his own garage. Aaron Momon as young Monty James. Gabrielle Union as Julia Rossmore, a lawyer, and Monty's love interest who struggles to find a decent boyfriend. Louis Gossett Jr. as Willie, Monty's elderly boss, best friend, and mechanic. Tracy Ellis Ross as Cynthia, Julia's colleague, and friend who sets Julia up on blind dates. Tasha Smith as Jennifer Jackson, Monty's selfish, drug-dealing ex-wife who is bent on getting custody of their 3 daughters. Melinda Williams as Maya, Monty's next-door neighbor and Julia's personal assistant. Terry J. Vaughn as Brenda, Julia's lawyer friend who despises Monty. Gary Sturgis as Joe, Jennifer's gangster boyfriend and drug dealer who has the neighborhood in fear. Cassie Davis as Rita Jackson, Jennifer's disowned aunt and one of Monty's neighbors. Sierra Olina McLean as Sierra James, Monty's oldest daughter. Lauren Elisa McLean as Lauren James, Monty's middle daughter. China Ann McLean as China James, Monty's youngest daughter. Juanita Jennings as Kat Jackson, Jennifer's disowned mother and Rita's sister who dies in the beginning of the film from cancer. LaVan Davis as Lester, a friend of Monty that works in a bar as the lead singer of a band. Craig Robinson as Byron, a low-class, loud-mouthed, middle-aged rapper. Maria Howell as Christopher's wife. Rochelle Dewberry as Miss Rochelle. Bob Banks as Mr. Jones. Donna Bisco as Lori Bell, a representative of the Department of Social Services. Eddie Long as himself. Leland L. Jones as a district attorney. Bennett Guillory as principal. Joey Napo as player number 1. Arvel Poe as player number 2. Javen Johnson as Brenda's husband. Mark Oliver as Jennifer's lawyer who represents her in the custody battle. Dan Albright as a judge that previously oversaw Monty's trial who is seen in a flashback. Dan Beasley as a family court judge that oversees the custody battle between Monty and Joe. Grayson Chadwick as Amanda, a girl that Monty was falsely accused of raping. Rick Wrights as Amanda's father who had Monty arrested for supposedly raping his daughter, but the mistake would be Monty's false belief in his innocence. Joan Pringle as a civil court judge that oversees the case against Joe which is dismissed due to lack of witnesses. Roger Mitchell as Joe's criminal lawyer. Julia Pagano as a criminal judge that oversees the cases against Monty and Joe, Jennifer, and Joe's thugs following a near riot in the Edgewood community. Brian J. White as Christopher, uncredited. Reception. Box office. The film opened at number 5 on Valentine's Day 2007 behind Ghost Rider, Bridge to Terabithia, Norbit's Second Weekend, and Music and Lyrics 1 and has grossed $31,609,243 worldwide, making it Tyler Perry's lowest grossing film. Critical reaction. On Rotten Tomatoes the film holds an approval rating of 25% based on 53 reviews. The site's critical consensus reads, "Daddy's Little Girls boasts fine performances and a poignant message, but is ultimately let down by amateurish filmmaking." 2. Metacritic assigned the film a weighted average score of 49 out of 100, based on 17 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. 3 audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of A on an A+ to F scale. Soundtrack. Atlantic Records released music inspired by the film, Tyler Perry's Daddy's Little Girls, in stores and online on January 16, 2007. Among the highlights of the album is Family First, the first ever recording by the Houston family Whitney Houston, Dionne Warwick, and Cissy Houston. The song Can't Let You Go by Anthony Hamilton is not on the soundtrack. Also, the song Beautiful by Meshel Ndegeocello is featured in the movie. Idris Elba Obe, Idris, born September 6, 1972, is an English actor and rapper. He has received a Golden Globe Award as well as nominations for 3 BAFTA Awards and 6 Emmy Awards. He was named in the Time 100 list of the most influential people in the world in 2016. 3 his films have grossed over $9.8 billion at the global box office, making him one of the top 20 highest-grossing actors. In 2025, Elba was named as the UK's 3rd most influential black person in the 2026 Power list. 4. Elba studied acting at the National Youth Music Theatre in London. He rose to prominence playing Stringer Bell in the HBO series The Wire, 2002 to 2004, and DCI John Luther in the BBC One series Luther, 2010 to 2019, the latter of which earned him the Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, miniseries or television film, as well as 4 nominations for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Limited Series or Movie. He was also Emmy nominated for his guest role in Showtime comedy drama series The Big C, 2011, and for his leading role in Apple TV Plus thriller series Hijack, 2024. 5, 6, 7 He is also known for his recurring guest role as Charles Minor in the NBC sitcom The Office, 2009. On film, he portrayed a ruthless and charismatic warlord in the Netflix drama Beasts of No Nation, 2015, for which he received the Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Actor in a Supporting Role as well as nominations for a British Academy Film Award and Golden Globe Award. He portrayed Nelson Mandela in Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, 2013, for which he was nominated for the Golden Globe Award for Best Actor in a Motion Picture, Drama. He has also acted in American Gangster, 2007, Obsessed, 2009, Prometheus, 2012, Pacific Rim, 2013, Star Trek Beyond, 2016, Molly's Game, 2017, The Dark Tower, 2017, Hobbs and Shaw, 2019, The Harder They Fall, 2021, and A House of Dynamite, 2025. He joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, portraying Heimdall in 6 films beginning with Thor, 2011, as well as the DC Extended Universe playing Bloodsport in The Suicide Squad, 2021. He voiced Chief Bogo in Zootopia, 2016, Zootopia Plus, 2022, and Zootopia 2, 2025, Shere Khan in The Jungle Book, Fluke in Finding Dory, both 2016, and Knuckles the Echidna in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, 2022, Knuckles, 2024, and Sonic the Hedgehog 3, 2024. He made his directorial debut with Yardi, 2018. 8 Apart from acting, Elba performs as a DJ under the moniker DJ Big Dryas or Idris and as an R&B singer. 9-10 Elba is a co-owner of the Formula E team, Kiro Raceco. 11. Early life and education. Idrissa Akuna Elba was born on 6 September 1972, 12 in the London borough of Hackney. 13 The only child to Winston Elba, a Sierra Leonean man who worked at the Ford Dagenham plant, and Eve, a Ghanaian woman. 14 12 His parents were married in Sierra Leone and later moved to London. 15 Elba was raised in Hackney and East Ham. 16 and shortened his first name to Idris while at school in Canning Town, where he first became involved in acting. Elba credits the stage with giving him his first big break. After seeing an advertisement for a play, he auditioned and subsequently met his first agent while performing in the role. 17 In 1986, he began helping an uncle with his wedding DJ business. Within a year, he had started his own DJ company with some of his friends. 12. Elba briefly attended Barking and Dagenham College. 18 Leaving school in 1988 and winning a place in the National Youth Music Theatre after a £1,500 Prince's Trust grant. 19 To support himself between roles in his early career, he worked in odd jobs including tire fitting, cold calling and night shifts at Ford Dagenham. 20 He worked in nightclubs under the DJ nickname Big Dryas during his adolescence, but began auditioning for television roles in his early 20s. 12. Career. 1994 to 2004, early roles and The Wire. Elba's first acting role was in Crime Watch Murder Reconstructions, and in 1994, he appeared in a BBC children's drama called The Boot Street Band. In 1995, he landed his first significant role on a series called Bramwell, a medical drama set in 1890s England. In an episode of Series 1, he played a central character, an African petty thief named Charlie Carter, who lost his wife to childbirth and had to figure out how to support his newborn daughter. His first named role arrived earlier in 1995 when he was cast as a gigolo on the sex episode of Absolutely Fabulous. Many supporting roles on British television followed, including series such as The Bill and the Ruth Rendell Mysteries. He joined the cast of the soap opera Family Affairs 12 and went on to appear on the television serial Ultraviolet and later on Dangerfield. 21 He decided to move to New York City soon afterward. 12 He returned to England occasionally for a television role, such as a part in one of the Inspector Lynley mysteries. In 2001, Elba played Achilles in a stage production of Troilus and Cressida in New York City. 12 In 1997, he starred in the first 2 episodes of the second series Blood, Sweat, and Tears in Silent Witness. After a supporting turn on a 2001 episode of Law and Order, Elba landed a starring role on the HBO drama series The Wire. From 2002 to 2004, Elba portrayed Stringer Bell in the series, perhaps his best-known role in the United States. Citation needed. Elba is also known for playing the character Aaron Smith in the 2003 Jamaican film, One Love. 22. 2005 to 2019, Luther and Stardom. Elba, back row, center, with the cast of Rock'n'Rolla at the 2008 Toronto International Film Festival. In 2005, he portrayed Captain Augustin Muganza in Sometimes in April, an HBO film about the Rwandan genocide. Elba appeared on the 2007 BET special Black Man, The Truth. 23 He appeared as Charlie Gotso on the No. 1 Ladies Detective Agency, filmed in Botswana. 24 The series premiered on March 23, 2008, Easter Sunday, on BBC One, receiving a high 6.3 million viewers and 27% of the audience share. 25 In January 2009, Variety reported that Elba would portray Charles Minor, a new rival to Dunder Mifflin regional manager Michael Scott, Steve Carell, for NBC's The Office. 24 Elba appeared in a 6-episode story arc later in the 2009 season, as well as the season finale. 24 In September 2009, he signed a deal to star as the lead role on the 6-part BBC television series Luther, which aired in May 2010. 6 He appeared on Showtime's The Big C in 2010. 26 At the 69th Golden Globe Awards telecast on January 15, 2012, Elba won Best Actor in a miniseries for television film for his role on the BBC crime thriller series Luther. 6. In 2007, Elba signed on to play the lead role of the film Daddy's Little Girls, playing Monty, a blue-collar mechanic who falls in love with an attorney helping him gain custody of his kids, and finds the relationship and his custody hopes threatened by the return of his former wife. He appeared in 28 Weeks Later, 2007, and This Christmas, 2007, which brought in nearly $50 million, $72.7 million in 2024, at the box office in 2007. 27-28 In 2008, he starred in the horror film Prom Night and the Guy Ritchie London gangster film Rock'n'Rolla. 27 In 2009, he starred in the horror film The Unborn and in Obsessed, a thriller that had him cast opposite Beyoncé. 29 The latter was a box office success, taking $29 million in its opening weekend. 30 Elba's next film was Legacy, 2010, 31 in which he portrayed a black ops soldier who returns to Brooklyn after a failed mission in Eastern Europe, where he has undertaken a journey looking for retribution. 31 He starred in Dark Castle's adaptation of DC/Vertigo's The Losers, under the direction of Sylvain White, in the role of Roque, the second in command of a black ops team out for revenge against a government that did them wrong. 32 Filming took place in Puerto Rico, and the movie was released in April 2010. 33 Elba appeared in the thriller Takers, 2010. He played Heimdall in Kenneth Branagh's film Thor, 2011, based on the Marvel Comics superhero of the same name. 34. Elba at the premiere of Molly's Game, 2017 Toronto International Film Festival. In August 2010, Elba signed up to portray the title character in a reboot of James Patterson's Alex Cross film franchise. 26 However, in February 2011, he was replaced by Tyler Perry. 35 In Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, 2011, the sequel to Ghost Rider, 2007, Elba played an alcoholic warrior monk tasked with finding the title character. 36 In February 2012, Elba confirmed that he would portray Nelson Mandela in the film Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, which is based on his autobiography. 37 As part of his preparation for the role, Elba spent a night locked in a cell alone on Robben Island, where Mandela had been imprisoned. 38 His performance earned him a nomination for the Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, Motion Picture Drama. In June 2012, Elba portrayed the role of Captain Janek in Ridley Scott's Prometheus. 39 He joined the cast of the film Pacific Rim, 2013, in the role of Stacker Pentecost. 40 He reprised his role as Heimdall in Thor, The Dark World in 2013. In January 2014, he confirmed that he would be starring in a film adaptation of Luther. 41 In 2014, he starred in No Good Deed as a vengeful psychopathic serial killer. In 2015, Elba appeared as Heimdall in the superhero blockbuster Avengers, Age of Ultron, directed by Joss Whedon. Elba also starred alongside Abraham Atta in the film Beasts of No Nation, which premiered in select theaters and on Netflix. He earned a Golden Globe Award nomination for Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role in Any Motion Picture, as well as a BAFTA Award nomination for Supporting Actor in the Film category. In 2016, he had several voice roles: the Cape Buffalo Chief of Police, Chief Bogo, in Disney's Zootopia, alongside Ginnifer Goodwin and Jason Bateman, villainous Tiger Shere Khan in The Jungle Book, 2016, a live-action adaptation of the animated 1967 film of the same name, directed by Jon Favreau, and Sea Lion Fluke in Pixar's Finding Dory, alongside Ellen DeGeneres and Albert Brooks in Finding Nemo, 2003. Also that year, he played the main antagonist, Krall, in the sequel Star Trek Beyond. Elba in 2018. In 2017, he played Roland Deskhine in the Stephen King film adaptation The Dark Tower. 42 starred in The Mountain Between Us and Aaron Sorkin's directorial debut Molly's Game, alongside Jessica Chastain. In April 2018, it was announced that Elba was cast as Charlie in the Netflix comedy series, Turn Up Charlie. 43 It premiered on March 15, 2019 and was cancelled after one season. 44 He also created and starred in the semi-autobiographical comedy In the Long Run. 45 In 2019, Elba starred as the villain in Fast and Furious Presents, Hobbs and Shaw, a spin-off of Fast and Furious franchise, and played Macavity in Tom Hooper's film adaptation of Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical, Cats. 46. 2020, present. In 2021, Elba portrayed mercenary Robert Milton Dubois/Bloodsport in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. 47 In 2022, Elba was the voice of Knuckles the Echidna in the film Sonic the Hedgehog 2, a sequel to the film Sonic the Hedgehog which is itself based on the franchise of the same name. He reprised the role in a self-titled solo series for Paramount Plus and returned for Sonic the Hedgehog 3, both in 2024. 48 Elba provided voice acting and his likeness to the character Solomon Reed in Phantom Liberty, a 2023 downloadable expansion for CD Projekt Red's 2020 video game Cyberpunk 2077. 49 In 2025, he played both the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom in Heads of State, and the President of the United States in A House of Dynamite. 50-51. On November 22, 2024, Deadline announced he was cast as Duncan, Man-at-Arms in Amazon Prime's movie Masters of the Universe. 52. Production Company. Elba signed a deal with Apple to produce original content through his Green Door Pictures production company. 53. In February 2021, it was reported that the companies of Elba and his wife, Sabrina Daur, would be developing an Afrofuturist adult animated sci-fi series, tentatively titled Dantai, for Crunchyroll, which would be about a time when biotech has created an ever-widening gap between the haves and have-nots. 54, 55, 56. In an April 2021 interview with Den of Geek, he said the series is mainly the brainchild of his wife, whom he described as a super geek when it comes to anime. 57. In June 2024, Elba launched a new production company called 22 Summers with former Pulse and BBC exec Diane Pet-Oral. 58. In August 2024, Elba received approval from the Tanzanian government to establish a film studio in Zanzibar. 59. 60. In September 2024, Elba joined Things Fall Apart as an actor and executive producer. 61. In January 2025, Idris Elba premiered a documentary into the rampant knife and gang-related crimes in the United Kingdom. 62. Other ventures. Music. Elba at the American Music Awards in 2007. Elba has appeared in music videos for Fat Joe, 2002, 63 Angie Stone, 2004, 64 and rapper gigs, 2010. 65. In 2006, he recorded the 4-song EP Big Man for Hevler Records. He co-produced and performed on the intro to Jay-Z's album American Gangster, 2007. He DJ'd at the 2007 NBA All-Star parties at the Venetian and Ice House Lounge in Las Vegas. 66. In July 2009, Elba was the DJ for Bet's current series Rising Icons. 67. He announced the release of his first single Please Be True. 68. In the August 2009 issue of Essence, he announced the title of his 6-song EP as Kings Among Kings. 69. He released his EP High Class Problems Volume 1 in the United Kingdom in February 2010, for which he has won many prizes, including a Billboard Music Awards nomination. 70. In 2011, he performed on the intro to Pharaoh Monca's album WAR. In the following year, he co-directed and performed in the Mumford & Sons music video for Lover of the Light. 71. In 2014, he produced K. Michelle's The Rebellious Soul musical, which debuted on VH1 on August 19, 2014. 72. In May, Elba featured on Mr. Hudson's single Step Into the Shadows. Mr. Hudson also produced his album Idris Elba Presents Me Mandela, released in November 2014. 73-74. He also featured on the remix of the Ghanaian music group VVIP single Selfie together with Nigerian rapper Phyno, released on September 12, 2014, and the video was released on YouTube on April 11, 2015. Elba performed a rap for the second album by Noel Fielding and Sergio Pizzorno's band, The Loose Tapestries. 75. Elba also rapped in a remix of Skepta's Shutdown, which was uploaded on June 1, 2015 to SoundCloud. 76. On August 17, a song was released on which Elba appeared on Nigerian singer D'Banjay's single Confidential, featuring Sierra Leonean rapper Shadow Boxer, with the video uploaded to YouTube on August 20. In November 2015, Elba opened for Madonna during her Rebel Heart tour in Berlin. Germany. Elba is also featured on the Macklemore and Ryan Lewis album This Unruly Mess I've Made, 2016. He had the idea to develop the music from his album Idris Elba Presents Me Mandela into a show, which eventually resulted in a play called Tree that premiered at the Manchester International Festival in 2019. 77. However, authorship of the piece was disputed. On July 2, 2019, The Guardian published a story describing how writers Tori Allen Martin and Sarah Henley said they had been removed from the production under what they described as questionable circumstances. 78. The two writers had worked on the project for 4 years, following an approach from Elba asking them to develop his idea for a musical based on the album, on which Allen Martin had also collaborated. Kwame Kwei-Armah joined the project in May 2018, and rewrote part of their material. At the time of its premiere, Tree was billed as created by Idris Elba and Kwame Kwei-Armah. 79-77. Allen Martin and Henley described their creative input as having included research and script writing, as well as coming up with the play's title, and that after being removed, they were threatened with legal action if they went public with the story. 80. Elba and Kwei-Armah both published rebuttals of what happened on Twitter. 81. In July 2018, he launched his record label, Seven Wallace Music. 82. Elba performed at Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival in April 2019. 83. In 2019, he featured on the track Boasty by British grime artist Wiley. 84. Elba also appears in the Boasty music video, delivering his verse in a mansion that includes a film set. 85. In 2019, Elba appears on Taylor Swift's song London Boy from her 7th studio album Lover. The intro of the song samples a snippet from an interview by Elba. 86. In April 2020, Elba collaborated with producer Jay Robinson on the track Know Yourself, released on Mau 5 Trap. 87. In 2020, after hearing Canadian R&B singer Emmanuel's debut single Need You, Elba reached out with an idea for a music video compiled from clips of people sharing the things that were helping them cope with the COVID-19 pandemic. 88. Elba was credited as the creative director of the video and is being credited as an executive producer of Emmanuel's forthcoming full-length debut album. 88. On February 13, 2021, Elba performed a guest DJ mix for Mix Up on Australian national youth broadcaster Triple J. 89. On September 22, 2021, Elba announced he would be releasing a collaborative EP with Australian pop-rock duo Lime Cordial titled Cordy Elba 90, which was released on January 14, 2022. 91. Elba also collaborated with Paul McCartney on a remix of his song Long-Tailed Winter Bird. 92. On January 8, 2024, Elba released the song Knives Down 93 featuring UK rapper DB Mez as a part of his campaign against knife crime in the UK. 94. With the release of the Phantom Liberty downloadable expansion for CD Projekt Red's 2020 video game Cyberpunk 2077, 2 of 3 new radio stations introduced feature Elba. These are listed as 107.5 Dark Star Radio and 99.9 Impulse Radio. 107.5 Dark Star introduces 2 new tracks by Elba, Chokehold, Roller Coaster, and 99.9 Impulse features an hour-long DJ set by Elba and Private Press. 95. On January 24, 2024, Movement Electronic Music Festival in Detroit announced that Elba would be performing a back-to-back DJ set with veteran EDM DJ and producer Kevin Saunderson in 2024. 96. In 2024, Idris began his own label Sound International, inspired by his uncle's legendary 1980s London sound system, which had an open-minded approach to music. The label aims to showcase diverse house music talent from around the world, with a goal to sign records from every country, highlighting the global unity and freedom within the house music genre. 97. Kickboxing. Discovery Channel produced a documentary, Idris Elba, Fighter, chronicling Elba's 12-month kickboxing and mixed martial arts training, 98 under Muay Thai coach Kieran Kettle, 99 culminating in Elba's first professional kickboxing fight and win against Lionel Graves, a younger, more experienced Dutch opponent, at London's York Hall. 100-101. Kickboxing record. Date, result, opponent, event, location, method, round, time, record. August 28, 2016, win, Netherlands, Lionel Graves, road to glory, UK, London, United Kingdom, TKO 1N/A120. Motorsport. On February 11, 2025, it was announced that Elba invested in Kiro Raceco, a team competing in the FIA Formula E World Championship. 102. Personal life. Marriages and family. Elba was married to Danish stylist Han Kim Norgård from 1999 until their divorce in 2003. He was then married to American real estate lawyer Sonia Nicole Hamlin for 4 months in 2006. He has a daughter with Norgård, 103, and a son with English makeup artist Naya Nagarth. 104. He began a relationship with Canadian model and businesswoman Sabrina Dower in early 2017. 105. They became engaged on February 10, 2018, during a screening of his film Yardi at an East London cinema. 106. And were married on April 26, 2019 in Marrakesh. 107. Activism. Elba and British Cabinet Minister Justine Greening at a meeting with diaspora representatives at the Defeating Ebola in Sierra Leone conference in London, October 2014. In October 2014, Elba presented the series Journey. Africa with Idris Elba on BBC Radio 2, exploring all types of African music. 108. Elba was featured in various television commercials for Skybox sets in 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016 and 2019. 109. He has collaborated with the UK Parliament in their efforts to eradicate Ebola from West Africa, working alongside the UK Secretary of State for International Development Justine Greening in 2014. Elba has created a collaboration with British fashion label Superdry, which launched at the end of November 2015. 110. In January 2016, Elba addressed the UK Parliament regarding the concern of the lack of diversity on screen. He said, "Change is coming, but it's taking its sweet time." He spoke about the lack of diversity regarding race, gender, and sexuality. 111. The Prince's Trust, a UK youth charity founded by Prince Charles in 1976, which Elba credits with helping begin his career, appointed him as their anti-crime ambassador in April 2009. 112. He served on the Board of Governors of the British Film Institute between 2018 and 2022. 113. He voiced support for a vote to remain in the European Union for the 2016 United Kingdom European Union membership referendum. 114. 115. He is a campaigner against knife crime. 116. Elba with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer in 2024. Elba with King Charles III in 2025. Elba attended the UK government's inaugural Knife Crime Summit in 2024, alongside Prime Minister Keir Starmer and Home Secretary Yvette Cooper. Elba emphasised the importance of action over mere discussion, advocating for a wide range of perspectives, including those of parents, youth workers, and law enforcement to address the issue. The summit aimed to unite various community groups, tech companies, sports organizations, and public services in an effort to have knife crime over the next decade. Elba's Elba Hope Foundation was part of this coalition, which was also focusing on restricting online knife sales and tightening regulations on dangerous weapons. 117. In 2025, he suggested banning ninja swords and removing the points from kitchen knives as possible solutions. 118. Interests. Elba has said that he is spiritual but not religious. 119. 120. He is a lifelong supporter of his local football team Arsenal FC. 121 In January 2025, he revealed that he had stopped eating meat around 6 months prior. 122. In 2015, as part of his Discovery Channel miniseries Idris Elba, No Limits, Elba broke the land speed record for the Pendine Sands flying mile course. 123 He hosted the Best FIFA Football Awards at the London Palladium on October 23, 2017, during which he took a selfie of the best team in the world, which included Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Neymar. 124. In a 2019 podcast, Elba said that he is trying to quit social media because it made him depressed. 125. Elba has discussed his experience with dyslexia, making it difficult to read scripts, which led him to help develop a tool that allows for audio script reading. 126. Acting credits and accolades. Main articles: Idris Elba filmography and list of awards and nominations received by Idris Elba. Elba was named Essence's annual Sexiest Man of the Year in 2013, 127, and People's Sexiest Man Alive in 2018. 128 In October 2014, he was presented with the MOBO Inspiration Award. 129 As of May 2019, his films have grossed over $9.8 billion at the global box office, including over $3.6 billion in North America, 130 where he is one of the top 20 highest grossing actors. 131. Elba was appointed an Officer of the Order of the British Empire, OBE, in the 2016 New Year Honours for services to drama. 132. 133 In 2017, he won the male title for the Rear of the Year award in Britain. 134 In September 2018, he was one of 50 people named for making London awesome and helping to shape London's cultural landscape, as part of Time Out's 50th anniversary. 135 In the 2020 and 2021 editions of the Power List, he was listed in the top 100 most influential people in the UK of African/Afro-Caribbean descent. Gabrielle Monique Union Wade, née Union, born October 29, 1972, is an American actress, model, and author. Her career began in the 1990s, when she made dozens of appearances on television sitcoms before landing supporting roles in 1990 films She's All That and 10 Things I Hate About You. Her breakthrough role arrived the following year in the teen film Bring It On. Union is known for her performances in the romantic comedy films The Brothers, 2001, Deliver Us from Eva, 2003, Daddy's Little Girls, 2007, Think Like a Man, 2012, and Think Like a Man 2, 2014. She also had starring roles in the CBS medical drama series City of Angels, 2000, and in the films Bad Boys 2, 2003, Cradle to the Grave, 2003, Neo-Ned, 2005, Cadillac Records, 2008, Top 5, 2014, Breaking In, 2018, and The Perfect Find, 2023. She has also co-starred in the films The Birth of a Nation, 2016, Almost Christmas, 2016, and Sleepless, 2017. Union starred as the lead characters in bet drama series Being Mary Jane, 2013 to 2019, for which she has received an NAACP Image Award, and in the crime series L.A.'s Finest, 2019 to 2020. Outside of acting, Union has written 4 books, 2 memoirs, titled We're Going to Need More Wine, 2017, and You Got Anything Stronger? 2021, and 2 children's books, titled Welcome to the Party, 2020, and Shady Baby, 2021. At the age of 19, Union was attacked and raped at gunpoint. 3. She has been an outspoken advocate for issues involving women's health, LGBTQ+ equality, and violence against women, and was awarded the President's Award from the NAACP Image Awards, alongside her husband Dwayne Wade for their humanitarian efforts. 4. Union was included on Time's list of the 100 most influential people in the world in 2020. 5. Early life. Union was born on October 29, 1972, in Omaha, Nebraska, the daughter of Teresa, née Glass, a phone company manager and social worker, and Sylvester E. Union, a military sergeant. 6-7 She was raised Catholic. 8 During her childhood, she was taught to be an independent woman, standing on my own 2 feet, and that's the road I opted to take. 9. According to Union, her mother taught her to have a world perspective and took her to a gay pride parade at the age of 8 after the family moved to Pleasanton, California. 8 She attended Foothill High School. 10 Where she was a year-round student athlete, competing in varsity soccer, track, and basketball. In her junior year, Union dated Jason Kidd, who was attending St. Joseph Notre Dame High School in nearby Alameda. 11. Union's parents divorced after 30 years of marriage. She said, "They handled their divorce and our subsequent transition into a blended family with grace, dignity, and respect. They always put us first and didn't involve us. I'm lucky that I can just mirror what my parents did and always put the kids first. They're pretty awesome. I'm lucky." 12. Union grew up with self-esteem issues relating to colorism, as one of the few African American children in her environment. 13 When Union was younger, she believed that blonde was the ideal of beauty, and if I looked nothing like that, then I must be ugly. 14. On her college football memories, Union reflected, "In my family, if you couldn't talk Cornhusker football, that means knowing the black shirt defense, knowing the I-back formation, then you don't get to have an opinion. When I first toured the Nebraska campus and I saw Turner Gill walk, I freaked out. That was like the biggest starstruck moment I probably ever had in my life. But it's because I grew up in a household that always talked specifically Cornhusker football and Big 8 sports at the time." 15. During the summer before starting her sophomore year of college at UCLA, at the age of 19, Union was attacked and raped at gunpoint at her part-time job at a Payless shoe store by a robber. 3. Union has said she would not have survived the attack had it not been for self-defense lessons from Oprah Winfrey's talk show. 16. She successfully sued Payless for negligence, alleging that the store failed to warn employees about the assailant, who had previously been identified robbing another Payless location. 17. Union has a bachelor's degree in sociology from UCLA. 18-19. Career. Early roles. Union started her acting career with minor roles. Her first audition was for Saved by the Bell. 20. In 1997, Union appeared in the 6th season episode of Star Trek, Deep Space Nine Sons and Daughters as the Klingon Angaran. She also appeared in Moesha as Ashley, Sister as Vanessa, in Smart Guy as Denise, and in 5 episodes of Seventh Heaven as Keisha Hamilton. She also appeared on an episode of Friends, the one with the cheap wedding dress, as Kristen, a love interest to both Ross and Joey. Other earlier roles included teen movies such as She's All That and 10 Things I Hate About You. 20. 2000 to 2009. Union in February 2009. Union appeared in the 2000 film Love and Basketball. She then played the role of Isis in the cheerleading movie Bring It On, which helped push Union into the mainstream. 21. Bring It On led to Union being cast in the CBS television drama City of Angels as Dr. Courtney Ellis. In 2001, Union was featured in The Brothers and was seen as having a beguiling sincerity, even when she's fudging the truth. 22. Union was cast in her first leading role in the 2003 film Deliver Us from Eva. When casting Eva, director Gary Hardwick was looking for an actress capable of instantly changing from funny to caustic and dramatic. Hardwick had previously worked with Union in The Brothers and believed she was perfect for the role of Eva. 23. Union's role in the film was met with praise, with Dustin Putman of all-reviews.com writing that she was the star attraction, and the #1 reason to even consider seeing the film. 24. Union drew influence from her father for the stern look she had in the film, admitting that she had stolen it from him. 23. In 2003, Union landed the role of the main character Mike Lowry's girlfriend, Sid, in the film Bad Boys 2, a box office success grossing more than $273 million worldwide. Union felt that she had been blessed with her role in the film, feeling it elevated her career. 25. That same year, she lent her voice to the animated television series The Proud Family. The following year, she appeared in Something the Lord Made. Union also starred in the 2004 film Breakin' All the Rules, which was unpopular with critics. 26-27 She appeared in the 2005 film Neo Ned, portraying an African-American woman with delusions that she is Adolf Hitler. She and co-star Jeremy Renner were noted by Mark Olson of the Los Angeles Times as having a strange, offbeat chemistry that drives the film. 28 She won an award for Best Actress in Neo Ned at the Palm Beach International Film Festival, and the film received awards at several festivals. She starred in the 2005 remake of The Honeymooners. 29 That year, Union also starred in the short-lived ABC series Night Stalker. She called the series a reworking rather than a remake. Union admitted that at the time of getting the script she was turned off, but she became interested after reading the script at her agent's insistence. She then met with series creator Frank Spotnitz and executive producer Daniel Sackheim, who told her they thought of her anytime they thought of the character. 30 In 2006, she starred in the music video for Busta Rhymes' I Love My Bitch. 31. Union starred in the 2007 film Daddy's Little Girls by Tyler Perry. The role of Julia Rossmore, a romantically challenged attorney, was written with her in mind. 32 Before working with Perry, she went to see his stage show to both understand him and his audience. 33 She filmed Daddy's Little Girls in mid-2006 in Atlanta, Georgia. 34 Union was praised for her character's portrayal and for having a great sense of comedic timing. 35 Union's character also drew comparisons to Eva, her role in Deliver Us from Eva. According to Union, Perry had specifically approached her over not turning the role into the same character. 36 Union starred with Morris Chestnut in the 2007 Christmas film The Perfect Holiday. Since she had no children of her own, Union drew on her familiarity with her mother and sister to portray the divorced single mother of 3 in the film. 37 Union initially turned down the role, as she did not want to get typecast for playing a mother until she was told of other actresses that had played similar roles and still found success in their careers. 8. In an interview with Art Nouveau magazine, Union complained about the lack of roles for black actresses and actors in Hollywood. There used to be roles specifically written black. If you knew Denzel was doing a movie, you knew his wife, girl, or love interest was going to be black, but that's not necessarily the case anymore. You're in that room with every amazingly talented actress of every hue, and it's a dogfight. It's hard. 38-39. In 2008, Union appeared on Ugly Betty for 3 episodes as Renee, Wilhelmina Slater's sister and Daniel Meade's love interest. 40 She also made a cameo appearance in the music video for Neo's Miss Independent. 41 Union appeared in the 2008 film Cadillac Records. 42 43 44 She portrayed Geneva Wade, who later married Muddy Waters. 45 Union, who was reported to have signed on to the film in March 2008, was seen as a pleasant surprise in the film, and her performance was said to have shown she had larger acting range than her previous roles. 46 Union later called taking the role of Geneva Wade in the film the best business decision she had ever made. 47 Union appeared in the 2008 film Meet Dave, playing the love interest of the title character. Union said the film was a gift. 48 That same year, she wrote the foreword for Hill Harper's Letters to a Young Sister, Define Your Destiny. 49 Union joined the cast of the American television series Life on NBC and appeared in 4 episodes prior to its cancellation in May 2009. 50. She appeared in the ABC series Flash Forward, a role for which she was nominated for an NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series in 2010. Citation needed. 2010s. Union in September 2010. After she was reported to be joining the cast in June 2010, Union appeared in episodes of Army Wives and NTSF's SUV, in 2010 and 2011. 51. Union was reported in May 2011 to have landed roles in Think Like a Man, a romantic comedy based on Steve Harvey's book Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, and an indie film, Family Tree. 52. In June 2011, Union defended the music video for the Rihanna single Man Down after it sparked controversy for its depiction of a rape victim shooting and killing her attacker. Union related that every rape victim was unique, which extended to how they believed justice should be carried out. 53. In January 2012, Union was announced to be a participant in Bounce TV's documentary Our History. 54. In 2012, she played Natalie in the romantic comedy Good Deeds, playing the fiancée of the Wesley Deeds character. 55. Union said that after she read the script, she became interested in working with Tyler Perry again and enjoyed working with the cast. 56. She then appeared in Steve Harvey's film Think Like a Man. Union related to her character for having married and divorced young. 57. She and Megan Good were seen as having taken advantage of their straightforward characters to add spots of comic zest as well. 58. Her next appearance was in Our Nature. The film was the directorial debut of Brian Savelson. Savelson had offered Union the role 2 years prior to the film's release in 2010. 59. Union saw in Our Nature as a personal victory for her career. 60. In 2013, she began starring in the BET Network show Being Mary Jane. 61. Union learned of the series while auditioning for Scandal for the role of Olivia Pope, which ultimately went to Kerry Washington. 62. Union has said that she is content with having lost the role in Scandal to Washington. I didn't get Scandal, but I got something better, which is my own show. 63. Union was impressed with the show's quality and professionalism. 64. Also in 2013, Union starred in Ava DuVernay's short film The Door as part of Miu Miu's Women's Tales campaign. 65. Union reprised her role as Kristen in Think Like a Man 2 in 2014, but it received mostly negative reviews. 66. She believed the film would do well. 67. And faced comparisons to her character, who was a newlywed while Union was engaged at the time, a similarity she dispelled by insisting she kept her relationship enjoyable, fresh, and exciting. 68. Union was announced in July 2014 as a producer in the Lifetime film With This Ring. 69. 70. She was featured in Chris Rock's Top 5, playing the fiancée of Rock's character. Union viewed her Top 5 character as being similar to members of the Kardashian family or the Braxton sisters. 71. In November 2015, Union began voicing Nala in the Disney movie and series The Lion Guard. 72. In October 2016, Union was featured in The Birth of a Nation as Esther, a slave in the antebellum South who is raped by a white man. 73. Union stated in an op-ed for the Los Angeles Times that she took the role due to her relating to it as a rape victim herself. 74. Later that year, Union had a prominent role as Rachel Myers in the comedy film Almost Christmas, released in November. Ariel Scotty of the New York Times panned Union's performance, each overused phrase that falls out of her character. Rachel's vindictive, childish mouth takes viewers further out of the movie experience. 75. In 2017, Union launched Flawless by Gabrielle Union, a line of hair care products that catered to people with textured hair. 76. 77. In September 2017, Union announced a collaborative partnership with Invicta Watch Group that included a line of watches she designed. 78. In 2018, she starred in the action thriller film Breaking In. In 2019, Union began starring as Sid Burnett in the Bad Boys spin-off L.A.'s Finest, a Charter Spectrum original series that premiered May 13, '79 and was later renewed for a second season. Union was also a judge for the 14th season of America's Got Talent. In November 2019, the show failed to renew her contract for another season, allegedly because she spoke out against racism. Union's fellow America's Got Talent judge Julianne Hought's contract was also not renewed. 81 In May 2020, Union filed a discrimination suit against the producers of America's Got Talent, citing racism and prejudice. 82. 2020s. On Disney Investor Day, December 11, 2020, it was announced that Union would be starring with Zach Braff in a remake of Cheaper by the Dozen 83, which was released under the same title in March 2022. 84 In December 2021, she played Tootie Ramsey in the Facts of Life segment of the third edition of Live in front of a studio audience, recreating the episode Kids Can Be Cruel. 85. In March 2022, she was cast as the lead for the third season of Truth Be Told on Apple TV+. 86. She returned to The Proud Family on its sequel series The Proud Family, Louder and Prouder in a second season episode airing in early 2023. 87. Books. In April 2017, Union announced her first book, a memoir titled We're Going to Need More Wine. The book features personal stories and reflections on a range of topics that continue to define the contemporary landscape: sexuality, womanhood, friendship, race, marriage, and beauty. 88. Union described the book as the good, the bad, and the WTF. 89. Released on October 17, 2017, the book was published by Day Street Books, an imprint of HarperCollins. 90. In December 2017, it was named a Best Book of the Year by a Black author by The Root magazine. 91. In May 2020, Union released her first children's book, Welcome to the Party, an ode to newborns and non-traditional families that was inspired by her daughter. 92. She collaborated with her husband Dwayne Wade on a second children's book, Shady Baby, published on May 18, 2021. 93. She released a second memoir, You Got Anything Stronger, Stories on September 14, 2021. 94. Other commercial projects. Union became a spokeswoman for Neutrogena in 2004. In 2010, she launched Love and Blessings, a clothing line for plus-sized women. 95. Which was inspired by her full-figured sister. 96. In March 2014, Union released her first wine, Vanilla Puddin'. 97. That November, she became the first celebrity ambassador and creative advisor for the nail polish company Sensational. In 2020, Union relaunched her hair care brand, Flawless, for women with textured hair. The collection is affordably priced and empowers consumers to customize a regimen specific to their texture and style preference. 98. That same year, she joined Bitsy's as a co-founder with the goal of making allergen-friendly, school-safe snacks that are accessible and affordable for all families regardless of their socioeconomic or geographic status. 98. Union and her daughter Kavya are a part of the ownership group of Angel City FC of the National Women's Soccer League. 99. Activism. Union is an advocate for survivors of Assault 100 and has voiced her support for Jada, a Texas teenager who was sexually assaulted while passed out during a party. The assault, which was filmed and posted online, was mocked by others on social networking websites. 101, 102, 103. Union has also spoken about the importance of therapy, and how she herself was able to quickly find therapy with the help of family members and co-workers. 104. Union addressed the killing of Trayvon Martin, stating that when you have influence, I think it's the responsible thing to do, to speak out on an issue when you see injustice. I'm still fighting for Trayvon, we all should. 57. In the months following Martin's death, Union supported a petition that called for Florida District Attorney Norman Wolfinger to bring charges against George Zimmerman. 105 After Zimmerman was acquitted of charges in Martin's death in July 2013, Union remarked, "Apparently walking while black is a crime punishable by death." 106. Union rebuked Todd Atkins' position on abortion, which he defended, saying that a woman would not be able to get pregnant in the case of legitimate rape. 107. When Tanganyika Williams, the aunt of NBA player Matt Barnes, was murdered on July 8, 2014, Union posted calls on both Instagram and Twitter for anyone with information on Tanganyika's killer to report it to authorities. 108. Oprah Winfrey said she was inspired by Union's Fierce and Fearless award acceptance speech, in which Union admitted she once reveled in gossip and rumors, because Winfrey never heard anyone be that honest in public or private about the competition and fierce drive to be seen and succeed in Hollywood. 109. In February 2012, Union was identified as a suspicious person by airport security and subjected to a hair put-down. 110. She tweeted a joke about the experience, "Hopefully my weave doesn't cause turbulence. It's clearly very powerful." 111. Union ran in the global race for the cure in Washington, D.C., on Saturday, June 2, 2012, in honor of her friend Kristen Martinez, who died from breast cancer. 112. Union was present at the Newseum in Washington, D.C., on August 23, 2013, and unveiled a limited edition 1963 March on Washington stamp to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the march. 113. Union is an ambassador in Susan G. Komen for the Cure's Circle of Promise. 114. Union became a spokesperson for Planned Parenthood's breast health initiative and launched the Women Are Watching campaign with other actresses in 2012. In October 2014, it was announced that Union would be designing t-shirts to bring attention to the Women Are Watching campaign. 115. In 2020, Union collaborated with Justice LA to create a public service announcement #suing to save lives about the health of people in LA County jails amid the COVID-19 pandemic. 116. 117. Politics. In 2008, Union supported Barack Obama in his presidential campaign. 118. 119. After working on the unsuccessful pilot for Army Wives, Union was appointed by President Obama to work with the National Advisory Committee for Violence Against Women. 120. Obama contacted her specifically after learning that the pilot had fallen through. 121. Union participated in the Obama campaign's Greater Together Initiative. 122. As part of his re-election campaign in 2012. 123. In August 2012, Union called on Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney to release his tax returns and birth certificate, noting his father, George W. Romney, had released his own tax returns while a presidential candidate. 124. In November 2014, the office of Atlanta Mayor Qasim Reed announced a campaign titled Take a Stand and its commission of a short film featuring Union and Tyka Sumpter. 125. Union was named in the 2020 Time 100 list of most influential people. 126. In the lead-up to the 2020 presidential election, the actress encouraged Facebook users to make sure they had everything they needed to make their vote count by seeking out vote writers. 127. Personal life. Union met NFL player Chris Howard at a party in 1999. They married on May 5, 2001, and separated in October 2005. 128. The divorce was finalized in 2006. 129. In a 2014 interview, Union said that she may have rushed into the relationship for the wrong reasons, stating that, "In my 20s, I was all about getting the ring." 130. Union had earlier reflected that she spent much of the marriage upset, and from the relationship she realized that the men in her life were just human. 131. In 2008, Union began dating NBA player Dwayne Wade. 132-133 They married on August 30, 2014, in Miami, Florida. 134 And she became a stepmother to his 3 children. 135-136 Union stated in an interview prior to the marriage that she and Wade would be signing a prenuptial agreement to protect their individual assets. 137 On November 7, 2018, they welcomed a daughter, Kavya James Union Wade, who was born via surrogate. 138-139. During an April 2023 interview, Union and Wade said that they moved their family from Florida to California partially due to Florida's anti-LGBTQ environment. Lewis Cameron Gossett Jr. May 27, 1936 to March 29, 2024, was an American actor. He made his stage debut at the age of 17. Shortly thereafter, he successfully auditioned for the Broadway play Take a Giant Step. Gossett continued acting on stage in critically acclaimed plays including A Raisin in the Sun, 1959, The Blacks, 1961, Tambourines to Glory, 1963, and The Zulu and the Zeta, 1965. In 1977, Gossett appeared in the popular miniseries Roots, for which he won Outstanding Lead Actor for a single appearance in a drama or comedy series at the Emmy Awards. Gossett continued acting in high-profile films, television, plays, and video games. In 1982, for his role as Gunnery Sergeant Emil Foley in An Officer and a Gentleman, he won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor and became the first African-American actor to win in this category. At the Emmy Awards, Gossett continued to receive recognition, with nominations for the Century Collection Presents Banbarine, His Roots, 1978, Backstairs at the White House, 1979, Palmerstown, USA. 1981, Sadat, 1983, A Gathering of Old Men, 1987, Touched by an Angel, 1997, and Watchmen, 2019. He won and was nominated at other ceremonies including the Golden Globe Awards, Black Reel Awards, and NAACP Image Awards. Gossett was also well known for his role as Colonel Chappa Sinclair in the Iron Eagle film series, 1986 to 1995. Gossett's other film appearances include Hal Ashby's The Landlord, 1970, Paul Bogart's Skin Game, 1971, George Cukor's Travels with My Aunt, 1972, Stuart Rosenberg's The Laughing Policeman, 1974, Philip Kaufman's The White Dawn, 1974, Peter Yates's The Deep, 1977, Wolfgang Petersen's Enemy Mine, 1985, Christopher Kane's The Principal, 1987, Mark Goldblatt's The Punisher, 1989, Daniel Petrie's Toy Soldiers, 1991, and Blitz Bazzaoli's The Color Purple, 2023. His television appearances include Bonanza, 1971, The Jeffersons, 1975, American Playhouse, 1990, Stargate SG-1, 2005, Boardwalk Empire, 2013, and The Book of Negroes, 2015. Biography: 1936 to 1954, Early Life, Education, and Stage Breakthrough. Gossett was born in Coney Island, Brooklyn, New York City, to Helen, a nurse, and Lewis Cameron Gossett, a porter. 1. He was an alumnus of Mark Twain Intermediate School 239 and Abraham Lincoln High School. 2, 3, 4. He contracted polio during his youth. 5. His stage debut came at age 17, in a school production of You Can't Take It With You when a sports injury resulted in the decision to take an acting class. 1. Gossett's high school teacher had encouraged him to audition for a Broadway part, resulting in his selection at the age of 17 for his first role on Broadway in the version of Take a Giant Step in 1953. He replaced Bill Gunn as Spencer Scott. 6. The play ran from late September to late November and had 76 performances. 7. The show was selected as one of the 10 best Broadway shows of 1953 by the New York Times. 8. Additional citation, S. Needed. His performance was well received, and he won the Donaldson Award for Best Newcomer of the Year. 9, 10, 11. After graduating from Abraham Lincoln High School in 1954, he attended New York University, declining an athletic scholarship. 12. 1955 to 1977, continued success to television breakthrough. On October 24, 1955, the Broadway play The Desk Set started its run, with Gossett acting in it. The show had 297 performances and closed on July 7, 1956. The Peanut is a comedy about office workers. On its 200th performance, Jack Wycole's The Morning Call review praised the entire cast. 14. A scene from the play A Raisin in the Sun in 1959, with Gossett, left, as George Murchison, Ruby Dee as Ruth Younger, and Sidney Poitier as Walter Younger. At the end of the 1950s, standing 6 feet 1 inch, 1.85 m, tall, he was offered the opportunity to play for the New York Knicks. He turned down the offer to instead accept a role in A Raisin in the Sun. 15. In 1959, continuing his Broadway career, Gossett played the role of George Murchison in A Raisin in the Sun. The story tells of a black family's experiences in South Chicago, as they attempt to improve their financial circumstances. 16. The character of Murchison represents the fully assimilated black man who denies his African heritage with a smarter-than-thou attitude. 17. The play received rave reviews. 18. In Boyd Martin's review in the Courier-Journal, he said that the play is magnificently played by the entire cast. 19. It won Best Play at the New York Drama Critics Circle. 20. During the early 1960s, Gossett was considered to be a talented folk musician, for which he was well known. 21. His singing career was helped along with appearing at Gertie's Folk City in New York. 22. In 1961, Gossett had his cinematic debut with the film adaptation of A Raisin in the Sun. 23. Due to the critical acclaim of the play, Columbia Pictures bought the film rights. Most of the original cast, including Gossett, returned to their roles. The film, just like the play, received excellent reviews. 24. In the same year, Gossett appeared in the original cast of Jean Genet's The Blacks, the longest-running off-Broadway play of the decade, running for 1,408 performances. The original cast also featured James Earl Jones, Roscoe Lee Brown, Cicely Tyson, Godfrey Cambridge, Maya Angelou, and Charles Cordone. 25. So their collective star power rubbed off on Mr. Gossett. 26. In 1963, Gossett acted in the Broadway play Tambourines to Glory. 27. William Glover, in his review published in the Bee, describes it as the first Broadway play with a gospel score, and praised the entirety of the cast for their energy and vocals. 28. In 1964, Gossett acted in the Broadway play Golden Boy. 29. Also that year, he signed to Powertree Records. Gossett's single, Hookaduka, Green Green / Good Mornin' Captain, was released in early 1964. 30. Later in May, Red Rosie Bush / CC Rider was released. 31. The following year, Gossett appeared in the musical play The Zulu and the Zeta on Broadway as Paulus, with music and lyrics by Harold J. Rome. 32. A December 1965 review of The Zulu, original cast recording that was released on Columbia Records, noted Menashe Skulnick and Gossett's vocal performance of It's Good to Be Alive. 33. In 1966, Gossett acted in the Broadway play My Sweet Charlie. 34. Gossett wrote the anti-war folk song Handsome Johnny with Richie Havens. Havens recorded the song in 1966. 35. Handsome Johnny was released in 1967, appearing on Richie Havens's album Mixed Bag. Havens performed it on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, which resulted in a standing ovation that lasted through 2 commercial breaks. 36 By September 1967, his single Where Have All the Flowers Gone? / Just a Girl was released on Warner Bros. 7078. It was a Cashbox newcomer pick and received a good review, with the reviewer calling it easy-paced blues working and a mighty fine smooth vocal join forces in putting across a tempting R&B reading of the folk standard. 37. In 1968, Gossett acted in the play Carry Me Back to Morningside Heights. 38. In the spring of 1969, Gossett was listed among the actors who could not be determined or uncredited in Stuart Rosenberg's WUSA. 39. Cast of ABC TV series The Young Rebels, 1970 from left: Alex Henteloff, Rick Ely, Philippe Fourquet, and Gossett. In 1970, his album From Me to You was released on BT Puppy Records BTPS 1013. It contains some of his own compositions. 4041. In 1971, Gossett acted in Paul Bogart's Western comedy Skin Games starring James Garner. In it they play a pair scammers who repeatedly pretend that the character played by Gossett is Garner's slave named Jason O'Rourke, to resell him repeatedly in every town they pass by. 42. Michael Bate of the Ottawa Citizen said Gossett larks his way through the film's early portions and develops a complex characterization with appealing good humor and restraint. He rarely overplays an easily overdone role, and for this he deserves full credit. 43. That year Gossett was cast in a film adaptation of the novel Finding Mobby, however the project went dormant, and was released as The Mighty Quinn in 1989 with another cast. 44. On February 7th, Gossett acted in The Desperado, a Bonanza episode. 45. Also that year he acted in the play Murderous Angels. 46, which is about an investigation regarding Congolese leader Patrice Lumumba. In his daily news review, Douglas Watt said that Gossett's performance as Lumumba was extremely convincing. 47. In 1972, Gossett acted in George Cukor's Travels with My Aunt. 48. He was announced to act in a starring role in Brian De Palma's Sisters, but had to withdraw due to scheduling conflict. 49. And to play a gang leader in Barry Shear's Across 110th Street, but he is not in the finished product. 50. In addition, he had a role in The Rookies, Season 1 Episode 5. In 1973, Gossett acted in Stuart Rosenberg's The Laughing Policeman. 51. In 1974, Gossett acted in Philip Kaufman's The White Dawn. 52. Gossett with Esther role in a publicity photo for Good Times in 1976. In 1974, Gossett returned to his role from Skin Games in the made-for-television sequel Sidekicks. 53. In 1975, Gossett acted in George's Best Friend, an episode of The Jeffersons. 54. Clark Templeton O'Flaherty, an episode of The $6 Million Man. 55. On April 4th of that year, the Western comedy Black Bart premiered on television. It was a spin-off of Blazing Saddles, 1974. Gossett played the lead as the first black sheriff in the Old West. 56. Also that year, Gossett acted in Delancey Street, the crisis within a television film about a halfway house in San Francisco for junkies and ex-convicts. 57. In 1976, films Gossett acted in were Arthur Marx's horror film JD's Revenge. 58. And Krishna Shah's drama The River Niger. 59. Both films were noted to have good performances by its cast. 60. 61. 62. That year on television, Gossett acted in Foul on the First Plan, an episode of The Rockford Files. 63. And The Long Road Home, an episode of Little House on the Prairie. 64. In 1977, Gossett played the role of Fiddler in the television miniseries Roots, based on Alex Haley's book Roots, The Saga of an American Family. Gossett stated that he was initially insulted when they decided to give me the part of Fiddler. He resembled Spinfetchit, the Uncle Tom part. But I said, okay, I will take it. I'll do something. Then doing the research I realized there's no such thing as an Uncle Tom. If it wasn't for Fiddler, we wouldn't be in America. He was a survivor. He understood both cultures and knew how to maneuver to stay alive and be solvent. We needed that lesson in order to survive here today. Having done Fiddler is a stripe on my uniform now. The program, which ran for 8 nights in a row, was success with a record-breaking audience of 140 million. 65. The role was his screen breakthrough, earning him an Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a single appearance in a drama or comedy series. 66-67. Other television appearances for Gossett that include one episode of The Rockford Files 68 and Freeman, an episode part of the anthology television series Visions. 69. Premiering on January 16 of that year, Gossett acted the television film Little Ladies of the Night about prostitution. 70. It was the highest rated program of its night, with a 36.9 rating and 53 share. 71. Seen by 26,270,000 households. ABC claimed this made it the highest rated TV movie of all time, as it surpassed the 36.5 average rating for Helter Skelter, although the second part of Helter Skelter had a higher rating of 37.5. 72-71. The rating for a made-for-TV movie was only bettered by 1983. 71. At the time of its broadcast, it was the 12th highest-rated movie to air on network television. 71. In the same year, Gossett acted in Robert Aldrich's The Choirboys 73 and Peter Yates's The Deep. 74. The Choirboys was a critical panned and viewed as one of Aldrich's weakest films. 75. In Yates's film, an underwater thriller, Gossett played the lead villain. 76. For his role he had to learn how to dive and said, to become an efficient diver I was trained in the largest swimming pool I'd ever been in every day for a whole month. Then the instructor said, I think you are ready now for the Atlantic Ocean. Once we got into the heavy stuff, those lessons saved my life quite a few times. On playing the lead villain, he explained, there are villainous traits and there are heroic traits in all of us, and as an actor you are taught to dip into all those sections of your personality. I guess, in a non-artistic profession, you have to keep certain doors locked. I like to play anything that is significant, and of a quality that I would call a stretch. Anything that is really quite different from what I have done before. 77. On his performance, he thought he did one of his finest jobs of acting during the filming. 78. While the film got mixed to negative reviews, 79. Critic Bernard Drew, in his review published in the Courier News, explained he liked it, enjoyed all performances, and wrote that Gossett is unctuous and evil as the arch-fiend. 80. The film was a success and was the 8th highest grossing film of 1977 in the United States and Canada, with a gross of $47.3 million. 81. Overseas, the film was Colombia's highest grossing film and grossed over $100 million worldwide. 82-83. 1978 to 1997, motion picture breakthrough and continued acclaim. Richard Pryor with Louis Gossett Jr. in 1978. On March 2, 1978, the television special The Century Collection presents Ben Vereen, His Roots premiered. Actor Ben Vereen showcases key elements of his life through dance and music. Gossett was among the guest stars. 84. At the Emmy Awards, Gossett was nominated for Outstanding Continuing or Single Performance by a Supporting Actor in Variety or Music. 85. On April 10, the 2-part television film To Kill a Cop premiered. 86. The film is about a cop who goes after a revolutionary, played by Gossett, who is murdering policemen. 87. On his role, he said, I see the character I'm portraying as a combination of those militant black leaders of 10 or 12 years ago, Eldridge Cleaver, Huey Newton, Stokely Carmichael, Bobby Seale. He was a guy who was in a shootout in Detroit. He lost his family and close friends. He escaped to Algeria, where he was given asylum for 10 years. When he was asked to leave, he returned to the United States with one aim in mind: revenge. 88. Donna Ravel in her morning news review liked the film and said Lou Gossett, Jr., is properly menacing as the intellectual revolutionary. 89. On September 11th, the two-part miniseries The Critical Hit premiered. It is drama set in a hospital. In a supporting role, Gossett plays a black militant who provides evidence of healthcare fraud to the first Secretary of National Health. 90. On January 28, 1979, the mini-series Backstairs at the White House premiered. 91. It is about White House servants who worked during several presidencies. Gossett plays a servant who is 37 years of age when the series starts and 88 when it ends. He said, "I took the role because of the chance to age. No one will know who I am in the beginning. They'll have to put a sign on me with my name on it. The role appealed to me. I'll do anything I can to keep from being typecast. Even a small part if it offers something different. I had my choice of playing Mays, the doorman, or Mercer. Mays has a death scene, but Mercer gets to age." 92. At the Emmy Awards, Gossett was nominated for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Limited Series or a Special. 93. On September 4th, the series The Lazarus Syndrome started, where Gossett plays a hospital chief of staff. 94. The initial episode gathered one of the biggest Nielsen audience of that week. 95. However, the ratings dwindled and the show was pulled by October. 96. On April 23rd, the television film Lawman Without a Gun premiered. Gossett plays about a civil rights activist who becomes the sheriff of a southern town. It is inspired by the true story of Thomas Gilmore. 97. In 1981, Gossett was a guest star in an episode of the television series Palmerstown, USA. 98. The episode is about a black soldier, played by Gossett, who lost his land after serving in the Spanish-American War and his attempt to regain it. At the time of its release, in his review published in the Start Press, Stephen H. Scheuer wrote that the episode was emotionally the most effective story so far. 99. For his performance, Gossett was nominated at the Emmy Awards for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series. 100. Also that year, in Richard A. Collis' television film biography Don't Look Back, the story of Leroy Satchel Paige, Gossett played the role of baseball star Satchel Paige. On playing Paige, Gossett said, "From the time I was 3, Satch was almost a godlike figure to me, yet when I got in front of the camera I had to be careful not to overdo it. I tried to portray him as an incredibly gifted man rather than a legend, which he truly is." 101. Mike Duffy of the Detroit Free Press thought the film was outstanding. On Gossett he wrote that he was perfectly cast as Paige. He captures Paige's overflowing exuberance for life, but also the man's innate intelligence, and his proud determination to gain acceptance for the genuine physical genius he possessed. 102. On May 31, 1982, Michael Schultz's television film Benny's Place premiered. The story is based on a play that was also directed on stage by Schultz. In it, Gossett plays an older man pushing retirement who is asked to train a replacement for his position at the steel mill where he works. Gossett accepted the role to work with Schultz. Of his role, Gossett said, "They think he's getting too old. He figures if he trains a young man, they'll put a broom in his hand and take away his ace. To me, he represents old people, quote unquote, and he shares their rage and predicament. He's still a vital man. He represents all those people faced with that predicament. I think it's a crime to send people that age off to pasture. They're in the prime of life and they have a lot to offer. I think it puts people in a psychological fear of reaching 70. 103. In his review published in News Press, Bill Hayden wrote that Louis Gossett Jr. gives a fiery and moving performance in this powerful production as a proud black man who believes he is committing the ultimate crime by growing old. 104. On July 28 of that year, Taylor Hackford's motion picture An Officer and a Gentleman premiered. In it, Gossett plays drill instructor Gunnery Sergeant Emil Foley. The role was originally conceived for a white actor. 105. Hackford said, "When I visited the Navy Officers Flight Training Center in Pensacola, FLA, I discovered that many of the drill instructors there were men of color. I found it interesting that black and brown enlisted men had make or break control over whether white college graduates would become officers and fighter pilots. At that moment I changed the casting profile for Sergeant Foley and started meeting actors of color. Lou Gossett came to see me. I knew and admired his stage work. He told me that he'd served in the U.S. Army as a ranger, so in addition to being an accomplished actor, he knew military life. I hired him on the spot. 106. Hackford also pointed out that they were impressed because he played the role as it was written and none of the script was modified to make the character black. 105. Gossett explained that his mindset guided him toward the part as he blamed both white unconscious racism and black acceptance of that, so a black doesn't go out for a part. Blacks need to change their mentality to knock down the walls of racism, and this includes trying out for parts like a district attorney or a lawyer or judge, traditional white roles. How do you know they won't hire you? I had to re-educate myself, Gossett said. There are parts I'm sure I could have played before I came to this realization. To prepare for the role, Gossett spent 10 days with a drill instructor and lifted weights to improve his upper body. 107. During shooting, Gossett's accommodation were in different location from the rest of the cast, to keep him emotionally distant from the other actors. 105. The role won him an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. He was the first African American actor to win an Oscar in a supporting role and 108. The third African American to win for acting after Sidney Poitier and Hattie McDaniel in Gone with the Wind. 109. Additionally, Gossett won the Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actor at the Golden Globe Awards 110 and NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Actor in a Motion Picture at the NAACP Image Awards. Citation needed. On September 17 of that year, the science fiction series The Powers of Matthew Star premiered. It is about a prince, Peter Barton, and his guardian played by Gossett, who escaped their planet after it was invaded and the royal family was executed. Now living on Earth, the prince, who has telekinetic and mind-reading abilities, passes for regular high school student who goes on various adventures. 111. Gossett explained that it's another role he says he got because neither he nor those casting the film thought of race. 107. Of his role he said, people have been complaining a lot lately about the image of the black actor on television. Well, if there was ever a redeeming character, it's Walter Shepard. He teaches goodness, character building, values and morals to young Matthew. He's sort of like Obi-Wan was on Star Wars. 103. The shooting was delayed due to an on-set accident that injured both Gossett and more severely Barton. 112. The show lasted until 1983. 113. In 1983, he played the title role in Sadat, a two-part miniseries which chronicled the life and assassination of Egypt President Anwar Sadat. 114. The producers of the show offered the role to Gossett due to his resemblance to Sadat. 115. However, in Egypt, the casting of a black actor as Sadat was controversial, as the Egyptian Ministry of Culture pointed out that the real Sadat was sensitive about his dark complexion, for which he was often ridiculed, and that the portrayal of Sadat by a black has revived the issue of race in Egypt, which is usually deeply submerged. It was among the reasons that a ban on all films and television programs distributed by Columbia Pictures. 116. On playing the role, Gossett said, I was becoming overprepared and stilted. Sadat is so recent in people's memory that I wanted to capture him exactly, but what I was doing was becoming an imitation and not a living, breathing human. I felt Sadat. I felt from the first day on the set that the spirit of Sadat was part of me. I began to move more like him, talk like him, and even think like him. This is the first time in my career that I have not totally memorized all my lines. 114. For his performance, Gossett was nominated at the Emmy Awards for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series 117 and was nominated for the Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, Miniseries or Television Film. 110. That same year, Gossett acted in Joe Alvez's third installment of the shark attack thriller film series Jaws 3D. 118 On accepting the role, Gossett said, "I turned down Jaws 3D 3 or 4 times, he admits. It was just a little part. Finally they said they'd expand the role." He also added that he accepted because there was nothing else. "There have not been a lot of offers since Officer." On developing his character he said, "I made my character a Creole, it gives him a more interesting flavor. He starts off as a shrewd entrepreneur, but he makes one mistake and everything falls through. He's almost like Captain Ahab." 119. The film grossed $13,422,500 on its opening weekend 120, which was 1983's second highest grossing opening weekend of the year 121, playing to 1,311 theaters at its widest release and accounting for 29.5% of its final gross. It has achieved total lifetime worldwide gross of $87,987,055. 122 Reception for the movie was generally negative. It has an 11% rotten rating at Rotten Tomatoes based on 36 reviews, with an average rating of 3.5/10. Its critical consensus reads, "A cheese-soaked ocean thriller with no evident reason to exist. Jaws 3 bellows forth with a plaintive yet ultimately unheeded cry to put this franchise out of viewers' misery." 123. Gossett said he was the only cast member to survive the generally negative reviews. 120 At the 4th Golden Raspberry Awards, Gossett was nominated for Worst Supporting Actor. 124. In 1984, Gossett acted in Richard Lester's ensemble comedy Finders Keepers. 125 The film generally received good reviews. 126 127 128 129 130 131 James Monaco reviewed the film in his book, The Movie Guide, and said of the acting Finders Keepers benefits from the well-judged performances of its energetic cast. 132. Also that year Gossett and Martin Sheen co-starred in David Green's television film The Guardian. 133 The inhabitants of a New York City apartment building are plagued by burglaries and murder, and they have finally had enough. So they employ ex-military man, Gossett, to protect their building as a security guard. His techniques are precise and intense, and soon his overbearing and power-mad nature begins to chafe resident Sheen. 134 Gossett's role was originally written for a white actor, but since he had just won an Oscar for a role that aimed at same demographic, he was chosen. Writer Richard Levinson said Lou had a lot of heat going for him. "We didn't have to change anything in the script when he was cast." Gossett appreciated the duality of his role. On the project he said the script said something about a modern social problem. "When I was growing up in Brooklyn, there was a real feeling of community in our neighborhood. That kind of neighborhood is gone, and that's one of the reasons for the increase in crime. I think of the character I play as a necessary evil in today's society." 135. In 1985, Gossett co-starred with Dennis Quaid in Wolfgang Petersen's Enemy Mine. The film is about a human, Quaid, and alien soldier, Gossett, respectively, who become stranded together on an inhospitable planet and must overcome their mutual distrust in order to cooperate and survive. 136 About accepting the project, Gossett explained everybody turned the role down because you couldn't see your face or your eyes. "How can you do a performance? So, there's a little Lon Chaney Sr. in me, you gotta try it." That's why I took it, because it was a challenge. 137. The production was troubled as the original director and the producer had creative difference. Petersen was asked to take over the directorial duties, however when he joined he found the original location, and footage unusable. Hence the production moved and new set were built. Quaid and Gossett received a salary to wait throughout the transition so they wouldn't start working on other projects. Also, Gossett's original alien costume was scrapped and it took 5 months to create the one used in final product. 138 On his preparation, Gossett said, I went to the zoo with a mime, a dancer, an athlete, and a linguist. There we studied lizards, snakes, wild cats, giraffes and the kangaroos, especially the females with the pouch. I also used a little ordinary cat and dog, and in the scenes where the drac is in his religious ecstasy, a little bit of Stevie Wonder. On the scene where the alien gives birth, he said, I don't think I'm gonna try and bear a child. But I wanted to do it. It was a cinematic first for an actor to give birth to a child. It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do, physically, but I took it because I would rather fail doing something difficult than succeed doing something too easy. 139. Peterson said it took Lou several hours to get into makeup and the sand was always getting under his contact lenses and, yet, he never complained. He also gives a great performance, even though you can only see his lips. He gave us a lot so that the message of friendship and love could come through. 140. Gossett had to wear 2 sets of contact lenses, one for protection, the other to give him a lizard look. However, the protection didn't work. After 4 weeks of shooting, he couldn't open his eyes, which were bloodshot red. It took 2 weeks for him to get better and it was estimated it would take a year or 2 to heal entirely. Also, his costume was glued to his body and he had to be treated for severe abrasion and rashes. Upon the release of the film, Gossett explained that barely a day went by during the filming of Enemy Mine that he didn't think about going home, wondering if he was giving too much for art. However, it led him to be more than satisfied with both his own performance and the film. 141. The film was a flop at the box office. 142 And the critics were divided on whether it was great or bad. 138 Over the years, the film developed a cult and started to receive positive reassessments. 143 144 Michael Wilmington of the Los Angeles Times loved the film and said Gossett always in perfect control. What he does here seems nearly the stripped down, boiled off essence of the actor's art. It's amazing that he can communicate so much subtlety, emotion, and strangeness beneath all those layers of latex and paint, those fishy scales, greenish limbs, and faceted contact lenses. He's credibly extraterrestrial and touchingly human. 145. In 1986, in Sidney J. Fury's military aviation thriller Iron Eagle, Gossett played a retired Air Force colonel, Charles Chapa Sinclair, who helps young man, Jason Goodrick, save his father who's held prisoner in the Middle East. 146 Gossett accepted the part because it offered a positive relationship between blacks and whites with race not being an issue or even mentioned. 147. The review were mostly negative. 148 149 150 151 152 However, Janet Maslin of the New York Times gave the film a favorable review, and said that both leading actors are quite effective. 153. The film made $24,159,872 at the US box office. 154 Although the movie was not a major success at the cinema, it generated $11 million in home video sales, enough to justify a sequel. 155. Also that year, Gossett co-lead with Chuck Norris in J. Lee Thompson's action-adventure comedy film Firewalker. Gossett and Norris play 2 seasoned treasure hunters whose adventures rarely result in any notable success. 156 At the time Norris was known for successful action films where he portrayed stoic heroes. He explained that he wanted to show a lighter side of himself. Gossett appreciated Norris' efforts and said, I have great respect for what actors call stretch. Chuck had to open up first to allow this atmosphere. It has to do with his desire to stretch. Someone else could have been quite insecure. He chose to open up. He's studying hard and he's serious. 157. The review were mostly negative, while some thought it was a fine for a light action film. 158, 159, 160, 161, 162, 163, 164. Kevin Thomas of the Los Angeles Times enjoyed it. Of the cast, he said they really get into the light-hearted spirit of the occasion. 165. The film made $11,834,302 at the box office. 166. In 1987, Gossett acted in Volker Schlundorff's A Gathering of Old Men. 167. Gossett was very enthusiastic of the project and said it's a strange, pleasant twist. The viewer thinks the story will go one way, and it doesn't. It's a beautiful and touching story. He explained that his character is always there. You look at him, and there's the eyes and face. He doesn't have all that much dialogue. That makes him very hard to do as an actor. What you have to do is use more concentration. When there are no lines, you write lines in your mind, and those moments have to be clean. A director can't really help you. The satisfaction is that, after you see it, it's all there. The director didn't cut anything I did. 168. While it was screened in the Uncertain Regards section at the 1987 Cannes Film Festival 169, it was released as television film in the United States. 170. For his performance, Gossett was nominated at the Emmy Awards for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Miniseries or a Special. 171. Also that year he acted in Christopher Kane's action thriller The Principal. Gossett plays the head of security in an inner-city school that just employed a new principal. 172. The film made $19,214,194 at the domestic box office. 173. On December 13th of that year, Edwin Sharon's television film The Father Clements Story premiered. It's about the life of Father George Clements, Gossett, an African-American Roman Catholic priest who became famous for being the first United States priest to legally adopt a child. 174. Mike Hill of the Evening Sun said that Gossett too displays his usual impeccable command of his character in playing Clements, depicted as an unorthodox priest whose methods had gained his church a wide following in its community, but also drawn the disapproval of the Chicago's cardinal. 175. In 1988, Gossett reunited with director Sidney J. Furie for Iron Eagle 2. 176. The reviews were negatives, however some found it to be fun mindless entertainment. 177, 178, 179, 180, 181, 182, 183. The film grossed $10,497,324 million theatrically. Domestically 184. The film's 1989 US video release generated $12 million. 185. On November 5th of that year, the three-part mini-series Straight Up premiered, where he co-starred with Chad Allen. In it, Allen plays a teen tempted by drugs, while Gossett plays a magical character who operates the fate elevator, so that each time Allen is tempted by a substance, Gossett takes him on an elevator ride which shows the consequence of that substance. 186. That year he appeared in 3 television movies: Sam Found Out, a triple play. 187. Goodbye, Miss 4th of July. 188. And returned to the role of Findler in Roots, The Gift. 189. He also hosted the documentary Crimes of Violence. 190. In 1989, Gossett co-starred in Mark Goldblatt's Marvel Comics adaptation The Punisher, with Dolph Lundgren in the title role. Also, initial reviews found it to be a trashy comic book film. However, over the years the film developed a cult with some who think it's the best adaptation of the comic. The film was re-evaluated with a much more positive outlook, who find a lot of qualities within it, with a first-rate cast. 191. On February 20th of that year, the first episode of Gideon Oliver played on television. In it, Gossett played a crime-solving anthropologist. Part of the ABC Monday mystery movie. Its last and fifth episode played on May 22, 1989. 192. On February 14, 1990, Gossett acted in Zara Is My Name, an episode of American Playhouse. 193. On July 22, Peter Markle's made-for-television Western comedy film El Diablo premiered with Gossett playing the secondary protagonist. Gossett said, "For me it's a chance to be funny. It's not like Officer and a Gentleman or Iron Eagle. I got a chance to put tobacco in my mouth and get cantankerous and have fun." 194. On September 9 of that year, Gossett co-starred with Sarah Gilbert in Joan Tewksbury's made-for-television drama Sooty and Simpson. The film is set in the 1940s in a southern town, where Gossett plays Simpson, a black recluse who befriends a white teen named Sooty. Gilbert. Eventually Simpson becomes a suspect in an attack against a young girl, while Sooty is speaking up against a school teacher who's a molester. 195. Ray Lloyd of the Los Angeles Times liked it, and of Gossett he said he is memorable as a survivor hiding in a shack outside of town and tending his secret vegetable garden. 196. On March 16, 1991, HBO premiered the television film The Josephine Baker Story. 197. For his role, Gossett was booked for 5 days in Budapest. 198. He appears briefly as an American officer who books Baker for a performance with American soldiers. 199. For his acting, Gossett won the Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actor. 110. On September 30 of that year, John Erman's television film Carolina Skeleton premiered. Based on David Stout's book by the same name, it gets inspiration from true events. It tells the story of a Green Beret, Gossett, who goes back to his hometown in South Carolina to clear his brother's name, who received the death penalty for a crime he didn't commit. Gossett explained, "It's real special to me, not just because it's personal, but because of what it shows about our country and what it shows about how a man can conquer racism. There were a lot of young people who died unjustifiably in this way. It was the nature of our country at the time. It shows how we have evolved." 200. John Burlingame of the Morning Call said Gossett is, as always, a commanding presence, and the story is convincingly told. 201. Also in 1991, Gossett acted in Manny Cotto's cover-up